So my first quarter here at UChicago is coming to a close pretty soon. There's a lot of different things that I've learned here over the past couple months, and I think it's a good idea to share it with you all. So this video is going to be about 10 important things that I learned during my first quarter at UChicago, and 10 things that you should definitely know your freshman year of college. So number one, time management is very important. So the quarter system here at UChicago means that classes here are going to be more fast-paced. We only have 10 weeks to absorb material from 3 to 4 classes and do well on finals, which is actually happening this week. With that said, the fact that classes are going very fast-paced and there's not always enough time, that means time is very limited. And you're gonna have to be very mindful of how you're spending it and how you're managing it. For me, time management has always been a very hard thing. It's been a struggle. There's so many things that you can be doing with the time you have, but it's up to you to really figure out exactly what the best way to divvy it up is. It's important to have time for friends, but also a lot of time for your schoolwork and studying and everything like that. So time management is super important. If you figure out exactly how to wisely budget your time, you're going to save yourself from a lot of regret later on when you figure out you should have studied for a test or given yourself more time to write a paper or whatever it may be. Managing your time wisely is super important. So my last final is a calculus final that's later this evening, and after that, tomorrow I'm going to head home. But before I do any of that, there's still some things I need to take care of before I tackle all of that. So right now, I'm actually going to head back to the library and return a couple of books, and then get back to my room and start cleaning up a little bit more. So I'll catch you guys when I get back. 18 degrees out here. Actually scratch that, it's like 22. Golden elevator. Alright, so I got back from the library and thankfully returning my books was pretty quick and easy. Now I'm on to just straightening out my room and just studying a little bit before my final. But we're going on to number 2. And number 2 is communication. Communicating with your professors and your advisors and even your classmates is super important. Just being able to let people know what you need, what you're feeling, the things that you're not sure about. Making sure that you communicate your problems and talking to people is very important, because that way more and more people are going to be able to understand you better, and you'll just be able to get things that you need much easier if you let it be known. So communication is also super important. cleaning around the room and some organizing, and it's coming together. But the only other thing left to do today is to review for my final and take it. But before I do that, I wanted to run through the rest of the tips that I've learned this first quarter. So let's just jump back into it. For number 3, another important thing that I learned this quarter is that self-care is another important part of being successful in college. There are going to be days where we feel burnt out and we've done a lot of studying, a lot of work, a lot of walking around to different classes, a lot of juggling extracurriculars and other things and classes and everything else. So it's very important that we take time out of our day and our lives in general to take care of ourselves, whether that's relaxing and enjoying a nice movie, or going out to eat with friends, or getting a bit more shut-eye, or whatever it may be. Taking the time out to take care of yourself and do things that rejuvenate you and make you feel a bit more energetic later on is going to be really helpful, and it's going to help you to stay active and to stay in a good, positive mindset. For number 4, a very important thing to do is to stay humble. Let's face it, this isn't high school or anything that you've experienced before. While there might be similarities, at the end of the day, college is a whole new ballgame, and with that, you're going to meet a whole bunch of new people, and you're not going to be the smartest kid in the room anymore. Growing up, all throughout grade school, there were many different experiences that I had, and many different people that told me that I was a very smart person, and I liked to agree with them, and I thought the same of myself. I thought that I was a very smart person. But being in this first quarter of college and going through it, it really humbled me a lot more and made me realize that just because you may have been the smartest kid in the room, or you might have been a very smart kid back in grade school, that's not always going to be the case in college. There are going to be people that are very smart, that are smarter than you or better than you at certain things, but that shouldn't make you feel any less than them. And if you are better than somebody in something else in college, that shouldn't make you feel any greater than another person. We're all here to learn, and there's going to be lots of different areas of life where you're not that great. Calculus, for example, I'd never taken it before, and there were a lot of people that probably have, and they got it a lot quicker. I felt pretty bad about it at first, but looking back and taking things into perspective, you start to realize that people are just good at different things, and it's okay not to be the greatest at everything. The point of life isn't necessarily to be the best at every single thing, it's to learn and to get better at things. Definitely stay humble in college. Don't inflate your ego or put yourself down just because other people seem to be doing better than you. Keep everything in perspective. 5th tip, make sure that you study. Study. Definitely carve out regular times for yourself during the week to study what you're learning. Even if it's 15, 20 minutes, or even half an hour, take time to study things and constantly go back to it. That way you're going to remember and understand things much better than you would if you just do homework and that's it. You can't just do homework and expect to understand everything. You have to take time to study it. And maybe if it's something like math, find some practice problems to do to study and, build that skill. Or if it's an English or reading class or humanities class, practice writing. Study and read your readings. Take notes, practice writing things. If it's a language, study the ins and outs of how to speak or how to write the language, and take time to constantly go back to it. You're going to understand it 10 times better if you do more with it. For number 6, I think it's super important that you ask for help. Know when to ask for it, but even if you don't know when, still take the time to ask for help when you feel that you need it. It's super important to reach out to people when you're not sure you understand things. Things like office hours were very helpful this quarter, although I do wish that I would have gone to more and more of them, or formed a study group, or did a bit more to ask for help. I'm very glad and very thankful that I at least took the opportunity to ask for help when I needed it at some point. It was very helpful, but I do hope next quarter that I ask for help a lot more and I do it in a more smart and wise way. But either way, asking for help and making sure that you reach out when you're not understanding things or when you need help to figure things out is very important. So yes, definitely ask for help. Nobody can do everything alone. It is very important to ask for help. Number 7, get outside and do fun things, explore. I am at the University of Chicago, as I mentioned before, and the Chicago area is a very great place to explore. While you do have to, make sure that you're staying safe and, being mindful of everything, it's still a very fun place to explore. Now, I will say I haven't explored downtown as much as I would have liked this quarter, but I'm definitely going to try and do that a lot more in the next couple ones. Quite frankly, just getting outside and spending time doing fun things is going to help you take your mind off of a lot of the stresses of classes and everything. But it's also just going to give you a genuinely good time to relax and to enjoy your surroundings and just have fun, because living a good life and doing well in college isn't just about keeping your head in the books. It's about having good and manageable fun and, just getting out there and relaxing and having a good time. Number 8 is meeting new people. Meeting new people, you're going to do it all throughout your life, but college is definitely a very great place to do that. You're going to need to bond with new people and make new friends. You're going to need to establish good relationships with your professors and a lot of other people around you. You're going to want to make friends with them, not necessarily just for the reason of benefiting yourself, but meeting new friends can help you become a better person and you can learn more about people and yourself too. And it's always great to have people that you can talk to or ask for help or turn to when you're not entirely sure of everything that's going on and you need someone to help you put things in perspective. Meeting new friends and understanding other people is a very great way to develop yourself and help other people grow too. So definitely make new friends when you're in college. Number 9, use your resources. Your school probably has a lot of different resources that you can use to be more successful and make the most out of your time in college. And resources aren't necessarily limited to things like tutoring or free books at the library or other things like that. Your advisors, your professors, and your counselors or student health, whatever it may be, all of those are definitely important resources for you to use. If you ever find yourself in a sticky situation, always look at the resources that you can use to help get you back on track and figure things out a little bit more. And resources aren't necessarily just limited to your school. If you're struggling with something in class, there are tons of resources and materials online that you can definitely jump into. One of my favorite places to go when I'm not entirely sure of how math is working is Khan Academy. It's a very straightforward and very easy to understand website where Sal, he just gives you the breakdown with all the math and stuff, and it's just like, it makes sense. And even if it doesn't, you start to understand things a little bit more, the more and more that you do it. So always just look around and see what you can use to help you jump forward and get things figured out a bit easier. And last but not least, number 10 is just to be yourself. College is all about exploring and finding new ways to learn, to understand, and to grow. And you can't do that if you're not being yourself. You can't reach out to other people. You can't experience things authentically if you're not being yourself. There are definitely going to be experiences and times where you feel like people might look at you weird or look at you funny because you're being yourself. But never feel bad or guilty for who you are. At the end of the day, you're you, and being authentic and being real is 100% more favorable and 100% more fun than faking anything. Being 100% true to who you are is what's going to help you in the future. And being yourself is going to help you make good friends. It's going to help you get good relationships with your professors. It's going to help you with all of those different things. Don't be afraid to be yourself. and don't be afraid of what other people think of you. Always strive to just live in a positive way and in a positive manner, and just be yourself, and things will turn out alright. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Those were 10 things that I learned this quarter at UChicago. This quarter overall, there were a lot of ups and downs, and I do think there were things I could have done a lot better, but either way, I'm very grateful for the experience, and I'm ready to get back at some point. I need this break though, I need this break. But at some point, I'm very excited to get back and just crush it. So, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like it up. Hit that subscribe button and comment down below if you're going to college or if you're in any university, or even if you're in high school or anything like that. Comment anything that you find helpful when it comes to doing well in school or anything in life. Success isn't just limited to things like school. Success is everywhere, and we all define it differently, so I'd be very interested to know what you all think. But anyway, thank you all for watching. More stuff is on the way. Thank you for sticking with me, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.